above the city of Bogota, where the clouds kiss the mountains, the winds whisper forgotten legends, stands a peak that has watched over this land for centuries. It's a place of mystery, faith, and breathtaking beauty. But Monserrate is more than just a mountain. For some, it's a gateway to the past, a place of miracles, and a challenge for those who dare to climb it.
What is this place really? And what can we learn from its history? How has it evolved and changed over time? And what can we learn from its myths and its legends? And is this really an inactive volcano that is just waiting to erupt and destroy Bogota for good? Let's explore this beautiful place. Me encanta mucho about Bogota, Colombia. And let us know, what do you believe or don't believe in the comments below? What did you learn in this video? This is Monserrate. Monserrate is a giant that towers over Bogota, sitting at about 3,152 meters or over 10,000 feet in elevation. It is an incredible sight to see. As you can see behind me, you can just hear the city and the roar of all the different traffic and everything and all the activity happening. It kind of makes me wonder, like, why do we live in that chaos? Because on the other side of the mountain, you have the tranquility, the green, the lushness of just nature and the beauty of what the earth was meant to be. But this also makes me wonder something else. What was Monserrate before Bogota became Bogota and before the Spaniards arrived? The Muisca people were the indigenous population that was thriving when the Spanish arrived. They lived from about the southern part of Santander through Boyacá into the Bogota savanna, where Bogota is today. And they revered the great mountain of Monserrate right there. It is said that they had several rituals, even temples on top of Monserrate, but it is difficult to know exactly for sure what the history is because they had an oral history, not a written history. And a lot of the things that existed about the Muisca people and their religion was demolished and destroyed by the Spaniards, which is a common theme you see across Latin America or any place that the Spaniards colonized. One of the things that we have found through our own individual research and is documented is that there was an observatory here because the Muisca people were good at astronomy, and it was precisely where the cathedral is here in the Simon Boulevard Plaza in Bogota, and they would track the summer, spring, fall, and winter equinoxes. So the sun actually rises right above Monserrate during the summer equinox and right above the Guadalupe during the winter equinox. And this is just our way of tracking the sun, and this may have had other spiritual implications that we don't really fully know what they meant to the population. In addition, like many of the indigenous populations that exist in South America, they believed in dualities, good and evil, masculinity and femininity, and Monserrate actually represents a masculine duality, while Guadalupe on the other side represents a feminine duality. And oddly enough, in the cathedral on top of Monserrate, they have a Jesus statue that is very well known, which is like masculine figure of the Catholic faith. And then on Guadalupe, they have the Guadalupe Virgin. And I cannot help but wonder, did the indigenous people, the Muisca, have an influence on the Spaniards when they were building those cathedrals to put something in place that would kind of represent their beliefs about these mountains and their beliefs in general? And who knows what else is buried underneath these cathedrals? What did the Spanish completely hide? Are remnants of the temples just completely covered by the Catholic cathedrals today? We really just don't know. But the one thing that we do know is that the Spaniards showed up and they changed the meaning and purpose of Monserrate forever.
In the 17th century, the Spanish built a sanctuary atop of Monserrate. But what truly draws people here is a statue of a fallen Christ, El Señor Caído, which is said to have miraculous powers. Every year, thousands climb this mountain asking for special favors from the fallen Lord, seeking redemption and healing. And a very common tradition is the 7 Sunday promise, which when you come and ask for special favor from the fallen Lord, you come every single Sunday for 7 Sundays in a row, paying that promise and asking for that favor. A lot of times you will see people going up on their knees, barefooted, or even with beans on their shoes as a way to pay even more of that promise to the fallen Lord. The fallen Lord, or the Señor Caído, it's also said to have special powers because of its miraculous hair growth. Every time they take him down for Holy Week, they say that his hair is longer. Is it true? We really don't know. It might just be a myth. Additionally, they have said that the special powers have protected the mountain of Monserrate and the chapel on top during the earthquakes of 1743 and 1745 that destroyed Bogota. Nothing happened in the chapel, nothing happened here in Monserrate. Another popular belief says that if you come up here with your boyfriend or girlfriend, fallen Lord is either going to make you or break you. So you're either going to get married with this person or you're going to break up and not see this person ever again.
So, I gotta interject here. So we came here in 2014 when we were dating, right?
Yes.
And you did not tell me about this.
Because I
now,
don't believe in that.
Now we've been married over 9 years and she says she doesn't believe in it. So my question,
Maybe.
is it true? Are all these things then true? You got some evidence right in front of you that we're thriving here. We're thriving, we're good.
Yeah, some couples believe in it so much that they would not come up here together. Would you come up here with your boyfriend or girlfriend knowing this?
So every single year, people come here climbing this mountain to redeem themselves, for miracles,
Ask
for blessings.
special favors.
Yeah, special favors.
Or get married with your boyfriend.
Or just get married, or determine if it's gonna last or not.
It's a test.
But the climb of the mountain is what's so special to us about this place. This trail was constructed specifically for the pilgrimage to the cathedral at the top for those who participate in the Catholic faith. Today, it is evidently used for exercise. In fact, that's what Whitney and I like to use it for. We come up here at least once a month and we run up the hill. It's about 16,000 steps, 1,600, sorry, correction. And sometimes you come up here and there are people in their 60s and 70s running up the trail, just passing you, super fit. They've been doing this every single day for years and years and years. It's pretty incredible, but it's definitely a sight to see and something that I highly appreciate about Bogota. It doesn't feel like we walked down this far, but we did. And we have to walk up these steps. We're already getting out of breath. We usually do the whole thing. We did not dress appropriately.
That's the thing.
We usually have shorts on and all that. Here's the end of the trail, and a lot of people, you can tell, are obviously tired. They come here and rest, soak in the views. Pretty incredible. That's part of the reward of getting to the top, so you get to see this. So as you can see, the purpose of this trail and mountain has obviously transformed over time. And what's nice about doing the trek, even though it's a bit grueling, is that there is a reward at the top. Just as rewarding as the views at the top of Monserrate, you also have a market with souvenirs and all sorts of like Colombian things you can find. You also have a food market where you can enjoy an ajiaco, which is a very traditional Bogota dish, bandeja paisa, which is a very praised and valued dish of Colombia, and many, many others. What I like to do is I like to come here and eat an arepa and have a coffee when I get to the top. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. Here we go, got my little cafe. This is essential. This is what I always get when I come here. I don't always get something to eat. It's warm, oh, it's sweet. Put a bunch of sugar in it. Panela, I didn't know that panela was gonna come in it. Panela is like their sugar cane.
It always comes with it.
And this is sweet too. This is like, what do they make this with? Corn and platano? To make it sweet?
It's sweet corn.
It's just sweet corn, okay. What's it say?
The chocolate.
Chocolate, that's what it's called. Chocolate. Yes, yes.
Just regular white corn with a ton of cheese.
Cheers. Besides just coming here, enjoying a tinto, enjoying an arepa, running up the mountain, doing some of the Catholic traditions that have continued to this present day, there are some things that might surprise you that have developed in more recent years about this mountain that are just as mysterious and just as enchanting.
The legends say that Monserrate has a special energy. It's a place of cosmic alliance and a site where free spirits roam. And whether you visit for adventure, for faith, or just simply for the view, Monserrate is more than a mountain. It's a story that has been unfolding for years, and one that continues to be told with every step to the summit. And like with every story, it has its dark parts. So today, let me tell you about the Monster of Monserrate, a serial killer that was captured less than 10 years ago here on the trail to the summit to Monserrate. This super creepy story begins in November of 2015 when a couple of locals started to complain about a foul smell that kept coming from a shelter that was built near the trail of Monserrate. When the authorities decided to investigate, the person that lived there, Freddy Valencia, confessed that he had killed over 100 women that he had raped before killing them and after killing them, which is just insane. When the police started to investigate, they were able to find the remnants to 10 different victims. So his confessions didn't quite make sense, although he kept saying that he had killed over 100 women and that he had raped all of them, which is super creepy. He was finally sentenced to jail in 2016, which is only 9 years ago. This is why he got the name of the Monster of Monserrate, the serial killer of the mountain. Now, do we know if those spirits of the women are hunting the trail? Are those the ones that are free roaming Monserrate? That is something that we don't know. Another somewhat mystery about Monserrate relates to this house right here, one of the restaurants of Monserrate, Casa Santa Clara. And the mystery comes from where this house came from. There are two stories that could tell us what happened to this house.
The first story is that the original owner of this house, who's from Bogota, Colombia, went and lived in Paris for 20 years and moved back to Colombia. After he moved back, he missed his house so much in Paris that he decided to have it dismantled, sent across the Atlantic Ocean to the ports of Colombia, through the Magdalena River, and all the way up the mountains to Bogota, where they rebuilt and reconstructed the house in Santa Barbara. Later on, they were building Septima and expanding the road system, right? So they had to move the house, so they reconstructed it and built it here on Monserrate Hill.
The second story is a lot more simple. Historians said that there is really no way that he could have dismantled the house all the way from Paris and then send it here to Colombia, but instead he hired an architect that specialized in Parisian architecture to build the house in Santa Barbara area. What it is true and what it's known is that the house was dismantled once Carrera Septima was being expanded to be moved here to the top of Monserrate. It is said that it was dismantled into 33,000 different pieces that were brought up here through the funicular of Monserrate.
Today we're gonna go eat lunch at this beautiful, incredible house, but you let us know, what do you think is the real story? You know, there are no historical documents or anything that show that it actually was dismantled in Paris and then brought all the way over here, but we do have evidence that it was from Santa Barbara to the Monserrate Hill. So let us know what you think. Oof. Oof. Look at that. Oh my God. Let's see the order. One of my favorite myths and legends that has developed over recent years is that Monserrate is a dormant volcano just waiting to erupt and obliterate and destroy Bogota for good. Now, we had to research just a little bit and figure out where it came from. And it's a little bit more nerdy than you would think, actually. So some geologists who were surveying Bogota kind of determined that there may have been some volcanic activity across all the eastern mountain range of Bogota millions of years ago, right? And so there's some evidence that there may have been a lava flow or something like that. But people took this to the extreme and they're like, oh my gosh, Monserrate was a volcano and it could re-erupt. But this is far from reality, actually. We're gonna bust this myth because the only volcanic mountain range in Colombia is the central Andean one. That's where you're gonna find the volcanoes. The western and the eastern, they don't have any active volcanoes at this moment in time. So I think Bogota is gonna be safe for years and years and years to come. But you tell me, do you believe that this is a dormant volcano just waiting to erupt? Let me know, comment below. As you can see, Monserrate has been revered by indigenous civilizations such as the Muisca people. It continues to be a place of pilgrimage of those of the Catholic faith and conquered by those in search of adventure. People like us who enjoy hiking up its trail and sometimes running just a little bit.
So what do you think about Monserrate? Do you think it's just a mountain to come and look at the views of Bogota? Or do you think it's something much more with all of its myths, legends, and all of its stories? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. We will see you in the next video. We hope you like this one. Peace.
I did not follow my own advice and carry a rain jacket in Bogota. And now I'm regretting it. It's beautiful and sunny when we were recording this video. We needed one shot here. But now this.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it in the rain.